head back to that dried up brook and see what we can find for a flat, dry, and safe campsite for the next 2 nights. We're setting up a tarp teepee enclosure, so that's going to be fun. I haven't done that before. I'm hoping Tess will be comfortable sleeping inside the tent with me, but if her past behavior has been any indicator, she will be slipping out underneath that tarp wall as soon as she can, and she'll probably just sleep right outside the tent. She won't go far. Okay, come on, this way. We made it back to the brook. It's right there. That's going to give Tess plenty of water to drink. I am not going to take any water out of that for myself. I'm going to have to work on that issue. But this is definitely the best spot we found. So my thought is set up the tarp here. Nice moss with some grass growing up. You can pat it down. Right over there, there's a bit of a clear patch and a really big stone. So it might be a good spot to set the fire to have. Tess! Come here! Hey! Are you hurt? What was that? Are you okay? Tess! Tess! Come here! Come here! Stop! 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 Everything okay? Not limping or anything. Yeah, so let's see about shelter there. Here we go. Few young alders growing up there, so go ahead and deal with those first. This is the Silky Saw pocket boy. Had it a couple of years now, still going strong. Got that space flattened out, not sure you can tell. I'm gonna spread out the tarp and get started on the shelter. I'm gonna have to find a pole. Is that a good stick? Good girl, Tess. You're not supposed to eat it. Do normal dogs actually eat the wood? Are you hungry? You want some food? Set you up for a little food? No? Sticking with your stick. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. You get a tent peg. You get a tent peg. You get a tent peg. Alright. Little baby. Got something to work with. Going to cut it to height. I want to round off the edge. I'll put something on top of it to protect the tarp. 5 feet's about my shoulder. So we're getting there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think I want to put something over it. Like this too. too much pole.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Now that I see it up, even just partially like that, I want to move it, pivot at the back right corner, bring that one down, this one over, I think. It's the nicest spot is outside of it. Let's try that. It's 5 foot 4 nonsense. It's not working. Gorilla tape. Okay. A minor setback. Let's take a look at some nice pretty B-roll footage I filmed on the way in here. While I have a sip of water, I'll be right back with you. Okay, what I want to do is try to add some guy lines. I'm guessing when I do, it's going to fall over. I'm hoping this all comes together all of a sudden, but for any of the many reasons that it may not, I can pretty quickly pivot to an A-frame. Plenty of options here. Alright. Well, that was easy. That's where that tear was. It was right along the seam, so I should be able to patch that pretty easily. I think it's gonna work just fine. Back to work. Okay. A wool blanket laid out. Actually under my sleeping pad. The rest is for Tess. Oh, you're gonna go dead. You're going dead. I see you. Bye-bye. Alright. So we've got the shelter pretty well set. A spot, wool blanket spot for Tess in there. It is 5:49. Better check in with wifey. Hey Tess. Hey Tess. Tess. You know what you just did? Tess just decided to walk over the corner of the tent and blew the pole right through the top of the tarp. And I can fix it, but I didn't bring enough to fix that kind of damage. Okay. Mm-hmm. settle with the A-frame. I'm gonna try to tuck the ends in. I'm gonna go down for the night, I think. At least one end to try to keep the cross draft down. Tess got a case of the zoomies, and she blew right through the tarp. Well, that was a pretty good sleep. This sleeping bag liner and the quilt did a good job keeping me warm, especially with all the extra layers on. Stop walking on the tarp. Good morning. Well, gotta find some running water today. Lake's not too far. Want to get a fire going, cook some breakfast, some coffee. Yeah, that'll get us started. Tess, did you find a tennis ball? What do you got there? What'd you find? Is that a ball? Yeah, you don't play fetch though, do you? You just chew them up. Good girl. So we are on our way down to the lake to get some water, and then with that water we can make the coffee, and then with the caffeine from that coffee we can make the food. Everything's dry around here.
It's almost 5:30. Finally managed to compress this bed of moss I've been lying on enough to find a couple of rocks underneath. It's been tough to get comfortable. All in all, pretty cozy. No problem keeping warm. I think it's about another hour until sunrise. It'll be an early start. Get packed up. Tess is right outside the tent at her post. She came in for a second, but just to sniff around and back outside to lay down again. See you in an hour.
Alright folks, all cleaned up, nothing but footprints. So we did 2 nights, didn't quite get the shelter that we had planned on, but we figured that out, right Tess? I think next weekend we'll be back to spend the night on that beach on the lake where we collected water. Alright, I'm Jeremy. This is Haws Outdoors. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Please leave a like, and if you want to support me, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.